All right, Sam and I are here on what day is it? Friday, May 23rd, for a Kristaps Porzingis trade show. That's what we'll call this. One of, I'm sure many will do as the Celtics decide who they're going to trade. So basically, what we did was off camera before we hit record. Um, we said, okay, go come up with a realistic, in some world, Kristaps Porzingis trade. And we both went off. We concocted our own Kristaps trades. We are going to present them to each other and to you guys, discuss, the ups and downs, whether we like it, whether we don't, and then you guys can comment down below which trade you like better, and if you would like either of the returns. So that's basically the concept. And like I said, I'm sure we are going to talk about plenty of KP trades as the weeks go on here.
Exciting exercise. Jack had to go through the ringer on this one. He had to jump through all the
We've been
hurdles.
sitting here for like 25 minutes as I try to figure this out.
Yeah. I'll get into mine if you'd like me to go first.
Go ahead, please share
So I'd
screen.
like to credit Nick NBA for putting this idea into my head. I'm not this smart to.
Plagiarism.
I know it's citing your sources. But what he had done in his realistic Celtics rebuild on his YouTube channel, Nick NBA, was he traded Kristaps to the Utah Jazz, who have been long yearning for the big Latvian, in exchange for Colin Sexton. And then I don't even know if this would have to happen, but Svi goes to the Nets to make it so the Utah Jazz can shed salary because Spot Track told me they had to shed salary, but I'm not sure that they actually have to.
Yeah, the Nets should be able to take Svi into cap space in this. It's
Right.
just the trade machines haven't updated.
I
So I
don't even
guess
know
my
if they should
question,
have to be involved. Like I think Utah should actually have room
enough cap
because
space to make it work.
yeah, because this trade only put them into the first apron. So I could be wrong on that. I
I
don't know what the
see.
exact rule is.
So the Jazz
But
are projected to have. Let me look. Oh
they would
no, they're
need
not
like
projected to have cap space.
11 and a half. Okay.
They're projected to have -2. So you would need to get a third team, I believe.
Okay. So I submit this trade, and I'll explain a little bit of
Okay,
my
please
thought
do.
process outside of having seen it and thinking it was an interesting idea. Um, Kristaps again is somebody that they have long been interested in. They have Isaiah Collier, who's a rookie over the last year, and also Keontae George, who played pretty well for them. He's not really efficient just yet, but he's going to have growing pains. Collier's going to have growing pains. They have these two young guards that they probably want to give minutes to. And meanwhile, if you're the Celtics, you're shedding $10 million in salary, and you're also able to bring in somebody who will soften the blow of whatever potential Drew Holiday deal you're probably going to have to do this summer, right? Like, that feels like it's another inevitable possibility. We'll probably have one of these videos for a Drew trade.
Yes.
So if you bring in Sexton, he's not a perfect fit. I mean, a perfect replacement. He's somebody who could probably give you good offensive bursts and spots. He has a motor defensively. It's just a question of whether or not he's going to be consistently engaged. But not an awful return. Not certain that Utah would do this. I'm not saying
Yeah.
official sources tell me, but I think this is a trade where the Celtics don't walk away feeling like they just had to do a salary dump. Utah has a history, like when Porzingis was officially traded to the Celtics, they were another team that was like, what if we got Kristaps Porzingis? So just putting the stories together.
My only question/concern is you just said it, right? Like Sexton has value, clearly. Like he's a good player. And so you don't feel like you're getting gypped if you're the
Who is
Celtics.
also on an expiring.
Exactly. But then if you're the Jazz, why not just trade him for picks? Or why not just trade him for an actual return from like a Mavericks who probably want a guard, or a Spur, or not Spurs, but like, or the Lakers who want, depth, or another team who has picks and or smaller contracts for you to
Or make the
absorb.
Celtics give one.
Yeah, sure. That's my only eyebrow raiser is
My
like
retort
I
is
feel like
Danny's a friend.
sure.
a friend that has an
Sure,
addiction to
sure.
trying to win trades, so that kind of negates that.
It's true. I mean, I would be thrilled if the Celtics got Colin Sexton. I think he's great. My trade is less fun
We
and
all get our
more
feelings hurt kind of trade.
well. You go from trading with a friend to trading with an enemy. So I'll pull it up.
Pull it up.
Uh, it is very good if the goal is to shed salary.
Okay.
Um, but it would be Porzingis to Lakers. One of the few teams in the league who objectively need a big man. Um, your Pistons would also be involved.
Good for
So
them.
Pistons take Rui Hachimura, Maxi Kleber. They're going to have around 24 mil in cap space. Um, Add in the fact I think it would work this way. It's hard to tell exactly, but I'm pretty sure since they would also be giving up Simone Fontecchio, they could absorb some of that into cap space and some of it with what they would be giving up in Fontecchio, et cetera, et cetera. With that extra flexibility, Pistons would get Rui Hachimura and Maxi Kleber on it expiring. The main addition being we just got Rui Hachimura for Simone Fontecchio. That's a massive upgrade. Rui Hachimura is an actual basketball player. You get that. The Lakers take a little bit of a swing, expirings for expirings. They get Kristaps in a second round pick to sweeten the pot a little bit. Don't really have a big guy right now. Even if they do trade for a big guy, this would be a really good thing to have. The downside being, who knows if Luka and KP can be friends again. Whatever. They take a swing on an expiring Kristaps. Worst case, it fails, and they shed a lot of salary, even though they would already shed it with Rui and Maxi. But they take a chance in a spot that they need it more because they already have Dorian Finney-Smith and whatever. And the Celtics get Fontecchio and shed $22 million in cap space for Kristaps in a second attached. So that's sort of the framework there.
So the real positive of this deal, if you're Boston, is obviously the salary shed, right? Like this hypothetically probably won't at the end of the day, but it makes it a little easier if you want to go down the line. This gets you below the second apron in one move. Takes care of you. So yes, there
Yes,
are.
but no. Yes, but no. Because
Well, you have to bring
you
in
still need to
guys.
resign Horford if you want to bring back. You still need to resign Luke. Yeah, so this would not get you fully below the second apron. It would get you there before anything else, but you have to do the anything else.
What it would
So there
do,
would still have to be more moves, but this would be a great start.
what it would do is make it so you don't automatically have to trade Drew Holiday if you don't want to. It was probably still going to be a pretty good idea to trade him because it's the Bill Belichick trade a guy a year early versus a year late thing where I think any Celtics fan would be like, nice, Drew Holiday's back for a year. But then if you run into a situation next season where you're still trying to dodge the financial penalties, and again, you're going to want to because if you're in the second apron for 3 out of 5 years, which the Celtics have been in 2 of the last 2 years, so they have to go 3 straight years to reset it, then their draft picks will start to slide towards the end of the first round. So you're probably going to want to get off that money anyways, and this is maybe the best time to do it unless he comes out next year and is scorched earth, and then you trade him mid-season. But that contract is not going to be pretty at the end of it, so it's going to be more and more difficult for teams to take it, not knowing what they're going to get in the next season.
It's kind of the opposite of KP right now. KP's value is probably lower than it's ever been. Drew's is probably pretty good comparatively because of how well he played in the playoffs, although the contract does loom large. But yeah, I mean, it would just be the Lakers taking a swing, trading expirings for a better positional upgrade if they want to take that risk. Or maybe they don't want to lose Rui because he was a really important piece for them, obviously. So that's also valid. You could probably swap out Rui for other pieces, but that's the whole point of the deal for the Pistons getting involved. They get an upgraded player. But yeah, I mean, I have a sneaking suspicion that most of you are going to like the Sexton deal better because, yeah, it's a better player coming back to Boston, but
who knows if it
it's
happens.
exactly 13 mil shedded versus 22 mil shedded. Everything. Let us know what you think down below of the trades. I'm sure we'll do plenty more of these. Let us know if you like the format. Let us know how we can improve it. We figuring that out, how to approach trade season and stuff. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all the same. Take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell because Jack and I are here every single day, even in the summer, with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday game recaps are up the morning after each game, and other videos are up on the channel, like this one, every other day, to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. Keep that craving curbed. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods are up there, so if you just want those, go ahead, follow. They will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading them every single time we do a podcast, or if we don't have the time, they will be on the channel as a separate video. We've done the last couple mailbags as separate videos. They've been pretty good, so just keep sending the emails because we have gotten a ton of great questions that have helped us make great content in the offseason. You can find our socials at How About the MCs for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's just the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.